And that's when we all got together. There was 40-something of us on the task force, and that's when we all sat down and put our heads together, and we went full bore on this thing to try to resolve it.
The task force brought together over 50 officers from 9 Florida law enforcement agencies to investigate the murders and to stop a serial killer.
The profile of this individual would again be a white male, middle-aged, at least a high school education and probably college.
Probably living at home, most likely in a professional field, like a nurse or something like that.
The first 4 decomposed bodies provided few clues, but the body of Richard Montgomery was found within 24 hours of his death. It was intact, and it finally gave investigators a face and name to work with.
I mean, he was very fresh. He lived in the area. That really gave us a lot to go on, but we didn't have in some of the other cases.
Richard Montgomery's friend Robert Whitaker was the last person to see him alive.
Richie was 21 years old and just turned 21 and thought the world was his.
Whitaker and Montgomery lived in the same trailer park. Montgomery worked as a day laborer, drifting from job to job.
Unreliable, but he was my friend, but he was unreliable. He had a problem coping with the real world sometimes.
The last day he was seen alive, Montgomery took a job to make a quick $200.
He wasn't like going to do a job on the side, like cleaning somebody's yard or something, for $200 in 2 hours. So I knew it had to be illegal. And he just smiled at me and just left. And that's the last I remember. He's gone. And I've never. And the next time I see him, he's sitting in a coffin.
The perpetrator wanted to find people who were down on their luck, needed quick cash, could be easily swayed into doing pretty much whatever he wanted.
They after killing the man, it cut him up like a piece of meat. And that's wrong. We're humans. We're not animals.
Whoever was doing this was gaining these people's confidence. You know, it kind of appeared that they were willingly going out there for some reason. And we saw that because of the bodies. You know, they're outside of some ligature marks and the possible mutilation that occurred after death. There was no real signs of struggle.
After almost 2 months of effort, the task force had linked Conahan to Montgomery on the day he died. And they had him on tape, asking undercover officers to pose nude.
Well, at the Holiday Inn, as time went on, I realized that they thought I was the guy that killed Mr. Montgomery, and basically I was pretty shocked. You know, I've fantasized about bondage before, but I have never acted out on that fantasy, and certainly did not act out with Mr. Montgomery to the point of murder or anyone else. I think they're just trying to cover up the fact that they let the real murderer go.
The photo taken at the